Duncan's Bluff. The mountain villagers needed extra coal for their houses, so James pulled in some coal trucks from the main coaling plant to the transfer yards. Duncan was assigned to bring in coal to the mountains, and he chuffed in to talk to James while he was waiting to be loaded up. "You took your time getting here," teased Duncan. "You were lucky I came at all," wheezed James crossly. "I got an important job to do later. I'm taking some children to the concert." "Oh, is doing 2 jobs in one day too hard for you?" Duncan chopped cheekily. "Ha!" snorted James. "I can do more jobs in one day than you can. I'm really useful." This made Duncan cross. "How about a wee contest?" chuffed Duncan. "I bet I can take more coal to the villagers faster than you can deliver it." "All right," puffed James. "You on." "I'll show you who's the fastest," chuffed Duncan. But Duncan was worried. James was big and strong. "I hope I can be as fast as James," he puffed nervously. So Duncan delivered all his coal as fast as he could. "Must be James, must be James," he puffed. But when Duncan arrived back at the transfer yards, James was waiting for him. "I told you mainline engines were the fastest," teased James. Duncan looked at the long line of trucks. There was plenty of coal for the villagers there, but Duncan didn't want to lose. "Oh, is this all you brought?" he tooted. "The villagers need lots more coal than that." "Then I'll bring more coal than you ever seen," huffed James. So James raced back to the coaling plant, while Duncan went up to the water tower to fill up more water before he could start his journey. When he returned, he realized there was much more coal than he first thought, with some extra trucks being added to the train. So Duncan decided to play a trick. "I'll hide half of the coal train before James gets back," he puffed. Soon, half of the coal trucks were hidden. "Now James will think I have delivered all the coal. Ha ha ha," he said as he steamed off to deliver the other half. An hour later, James returned with more coal trucks. He was puffing harder than he ever puffed, and he was using lots of coal. Duncan was there waiting. "You're out of puff," said Duncan. "Are you sure you're alright?" "Of course I'm fine," said James. "I'm collecting the children later. It will take me a short while. As for you, it would take you a whole day to deliver all the coal on this train." "Oh, we'll see," laughed Duncan. As the sun began to set, James collected all the children from across the island to the concert. But he had been working so hard, he had used up all the coal in his tender, and soon James could go no further. That evening, the thing controller came to see Duncan. "James is stuck. He has run out of coal. Now he won't be able to take the children to the concert." Duncan felt terrible. He thought all about the coal trucks he had hidden. He thought about James, and then he thought about the children. "I have to tell you about the hidden coal trucks," he wished. The thing controller listened hard. "You have caused delay and confusion," he said slowly, "but you had told the truth, and a really useful engine always tells the truth." "I'll only be really useful if I can help James," whistled Duncan. So Duncan collected one of the coal trucks he had hidden. Snow started to fall as Duncan arrived at Crowman's Gate, where James was there. "What are you doing here?" he snorted. "I play a trick on you," chuffed Duncan. "I didn't take all the coal to the villagers. I hid it from you. You are the fastest and a really useful engine," he added. But James told Duncan that he was really useful too. "You brought the coal to me so quickly. I would still be able to take the children to the concert. Thank you, Duncan." The coal was quickly loaded into James's tender. Soon his fire was roaring and his boiler was as warm as toast. He steamed off. out at the station with the children. Duncan felt happy. James is a really useful engine. But then, so am I. And Duncan chuffed happily away to deliver more coal to the snowy villages.